It's coloring time. Well, if you looking at some color to your wardrobe, you found the right place. You do. That's disgusting. You disgust me. You disgust me. That was the worst joke. How dare you? How dare you? Okay. Let's see what I can do here. Let's choose colors. Alright, they change your entire costume simultaneously, don't they? You have to like swap out individual pieces if you want to switch out different colors. You can't change any of the armor at all. A little bit there. You dye your armor black, the actual costume itself changes color. The metal, does that change for any other color? Nope. One idea would be to make it so that the internal colors of the costume match the helmet. There's really not a lot you can do. I kind of remember why I've skimped on this feature in the past, because it's somewhat limited in what it can do. That looks kind of neat, though. Choose 5 ingredients you like to use in your dye. Oh, you have to pick the colors from your inventory that qualify as being the color black. That's a nice touch. Hold your breath. Oh. Oh. What a wonderful tone that is. I might try that out in one of my outfits. You look dashing. Do you find this palatable? If you'd like to do a re-dye, just let me know. Well, I look kind of neat, although really the difference is mostly... I'm mostly not going to notice it. Unfortunately, the gear that gives me all this defense is also gear that doesn't really give me stats I can use. Oh well. I mean, the gear that gives me the defense I want doesn't really have the ability to be dyed very well, due to it all looking like this, it's all covered in metal. So I want to go there. That's Princess Zelda Study. That's the place I went to in the footage we lost, so I want to rediscover that location. Let's head on over. It's funny, the game's covering all these yellow markings here and there that I have just, boom, lost track of what they mean. Trying to think of how many markings on the map I would still recognize, and the main one is that the stars are shrines, obviously, but they're gone now because I've done all of them, which is weird to think about. Aside from that, there's that one sword in the Gerudo Highlands, which represents the place where I can get the Blade of Duality if I want it. Maybe should have grabbed that before. Nah, I'm already committed. Let's just go. It's like a whole expedition to go there. I've retrieved it once. It is a really good weapon. It's a 50 damage, two-handed weapon. Might even have a buff on it now. It's weird how I found it mostly near the beginning of the playthrough rather than later parts, considering it seems to be a considerably high-power weapon. So our goal right now is to get into the castle and try to die along the way. I love the music for combat in this game. You'll never catch me here. That was neat. Did I actually get away? I think I just got away with that. That was amazing. So they have genuine vision cones that you can actually, like, just duck your way out of. Can I climb that? Seems exceptionally high. Maybe if there's, like, little things you can stop on along the way? I mean, I've got to try it. Might even be able to fly directly to Zelda Study. Oh. Okay, that's not the best sign. But I've got powers to use, so maybe I can work something out with this game. There we go. Listen to that music. So close. I think that's as close as we're getting, though. I'm like right here. Look at ruined Hyrule down there. There we go. I'm like, how do I pose again? Posing is hard. Oh no, it changed direction. That's frustrating. Okay. So, point it that way, then self-portrait? No. Point it that way, and then self-portrait. And then contemplation view. And now Link is Batman. What is it a photo of? That's sure. Don't really know what pose I'd want to go with. Let's see. Zoom. Oh, you can't zoom out more than that. I was gonna like get like a way down below view or something. I try. Hi. Oh man, if you could save a GIF of this game, like moments of like some genuinely neat moments you get out of this. Unfortunately, the camera just doesn't quite get what I'm hoping for here. Oh well. The important thing is I was here. Also, I'm recording a video, so that is pretty good evidence of what I did. Oh, don't do that. That's not what I wanted. Don't use the sword. Oh, this is risky. Wait, what? Revalia's Gale is ready. Why is it ready? Wait, how did Revalia's Gale get ready? I used it 3 times. Weird. I guess I am up here now. I got an ancient screw. Well, that's a cool view. Hello, really screwed up Hyrule. How you doing? That's as good as we're gonna get. Oops. Ah, well. Down we go! To Zelda's study! I'm not really gonna make it that far with this jump. Alright, let's go check out this building then. Oh, there's like turrets everywhere, look at that. I've never photographed you, have I? A guardian turret. That's a new type of enemy to deal with. You guys are everywhere around here. It's like the one spot where you don't have to move around. Like a whole courtyard down there. Let's switch to other weapons. Or maybe not. Maybe I should use the Master Sword around here. It'll eventually break, which sucks, but it's really good for Guardians. And that's what we're fighting around here. For all I know, it'll even stop glowing when I fight Ganon. No, probably not. I think all the Ganon blights, it didn't stop glowing for. This is interesting because it's like the one... This feels like it's like the one traditional, like, exploration dungeon. Possibly. Like, it has all the characteristics you think you'd get in this kind of game. You're up. Ow. That didn't work out. There you go. That was awkward. Really wish I could attack him in the eye with the sword, but I can't like stand on him. For some reason that's like an active problem. Oh yeah. Well, you're something new. More for me. I'm trying to get the Zelda's study, which I'm right below right now. Yeah, it's right up there. Let's see if I can get up there on foot as opposed to climbing straight up. Oh wait, does this lead exactly where I want it to? Oh hi. You can't see me, I'm invisible. You'll never see me, I'm crouching. That was weird how he almost seemed to crouch when I crouched. Really? Yeah. Why are you here? It's everything's on fire here. Shame on you. Go home. Hee. Don't get back up. Don't get back up. Don't get back up. Is that a bladed duality? Oh, it is. Be something new? A Royal Guards bow. Hello. We're getting some high quality stuff here. This soundtrack is out of control right now. This is some really good stuff. It's like every different theme mixed together for a bit. Shit. I mean, that has higher durability than you do. Like, I think I heard the do for a second there. Just to add to the list of things going on at once. Oh yeah, 50 damage quick shot bow. Holy crap. Yeah, I did not need to stock up on weapons before coming in here. We have a 50 damage quick shot bow. That's what it looks like before bonus damage. So, it's the next thing above Royal Bow is Royal Guards bow. But this one in particular is not super impressive because it doesn't have a bonus damage to it. So it's behind the lower tier stuff just because it doesn't have modifiers. Whose is this? Zelda's Diary. Another one? I don't think this is the one I found. Look at this place. Like another lab of some kind? After meeting with the champions, I left to research the ancient technology, but nothing of note came of my research. The return of Ganon looms, a dark force taunting us from afar. I must learn all I can about the relics so we can stop him. If Fortune Teller's prophecy is to be believed, there isn't much time left. Ah, but turning over these thoughts in my head puts me ill at ease. I suppose I should turn in for the night. P.S. Tomorrow my father is assigning him as my appointed knight. I set out for Goron City today to make some adjustments to Divine Beast Valridania. I still recall feeling his eyes on me as I walked ahead. The feeling stayed with me for so long, I grew anxious and weary. It's the same feeling I have felt before in his company, and still, not a word passes his lips. I never know what he's thinking. It makes my imagination run wild, guessing at what he is thinking but will not say. What does the boy chosen by the sword that seals the darkness think of me? Will I ever truly know? Then, I suppose it's simple. A daughter of Hyrule's royal family, yet unable to use sealing magic. He must despise me. I said something awful to him today. My research was going nowhere, I was feeling depressed, and I had told him repeatedly not to accompany me, but he did it anyway, as he always does, and so I yelled at him without restraint. He seemed confused by my anger. I feel terribly guilty, and that guilt only makes me more agitated than I was before. I'm unsure how to put today's events into words. Words so often evade me lately, and now more than ever. He saved me. Without a thought for his own life, he protected me from the ruthless blades of the Yiga clan. Though I'd been cold to him all this time, taking my selfish, childish anger out him at every turn, he still was there for me. I won't ever forget that. Tomorrow I shall apologize for all that has transpired between us, and then I will try talking to him, to Link. It's worth a shot. Bit by bit, I've gotten Link to open up a bit to me. It turns out he's quite a glutton. He can't resist a delicious meal. When I finally got around to asking why he's so quiet all the time, I could tell it was difficult for him to say, but he did. With so much at stake, and so many eyes upon him, he feels it necessary to stay strong and to silently bear any burden. A feeling I know all too well. For him, it has caused him to stop outwardly expressing his thoughts and feelings. I always believed him to be simply a gifted person who has never faced a day of hardship. How wrong I was. Everyone has struggles that go unseen by the world. I was so absorbed with my own problems I failed to see his. I wish to talk to him more and see what lies beneath those calm waters. To hear him speak freely and openly. And perhaps I, too, will be able to bare my soul to him and share the demons that have plagued me all these years. Father scolded me again today. He told me that I have nothing more to do with researching... Oh, I am to have nothing more to do with researching ancient technology. He insisted I focus instead on training, and that will help me awaken my sealing magic. I was so frustrated and ashamed I could not even speak. I've been training since I was a child, and yet... Mother passed this year before my training was to begin. In losing her, I lost not just a mother, but a teacher. Mother used to smile and tell me, "Zelda, my love, all will be well in the end. You can do anything." But she was wrong. No matter how I tried, or how much time passes, the sealing power that is my birthright evades me. Tomorrow I journey with Link to the Spring of Power to train, but this, too, will end in failure, such as my curse. I had a dream last night. In a place consumed by darkness, a lone woman gazed at me, haloed by blinding light. I sensed she was not of this world. I don't know if she was a fairy or a... Whoa. That was weird. Welcome back. It just cut out for a moment there. Wow, I think that happened like in the very first episodes of this playthrough and then like never again. That stuff makes me nervous. I wonder if that has to do with why stuff crashes and breaks with the Switch, because the Switch is like a weird handheld thing that you dock into a weird docking station, then you put an HDMI cord into the docking station, and then that goes to your computer, and I'm like, I wonder if weird connections like that might not be entirely reliable might cause problems or something. Huh. I'm happy that the Switch probably means a bunch of handheld style stuff will finally be available to me as a console player that doesn't really care about handhelds, but I can't help but wish that it just was a normal console that didn't have a weird docking gimmick. Because it really is like it looks like I'm having a phone docked in a charging station and I'm playing the phone on my computer. It's weird. I said she was not of this world. I don't know if she was a fairy or a goddess, but she was beautiful. Is it the Great Fairy? Her lips spoke urgently, but her voice did not reach me. Would I have heard her if my power was awoken? Or was my dream simply a manifestation of my fears? I am sure I will know the answer soon, whether I wish to or not. I turned 17 today. This means this is the day I will finally be allowed to train at the Spring of Wisdom. When Link arrives, I will set out for Mount Lanayru. The other champions will accompany us there. I have not seen my father since he last scolded me. Things are too strained now. I will meet with him when I return. Actually, I've had a horrible feeling ever since that weird dream. No one would believe a failure of a princess, but right now, for no particular reason, I am filled with a strange and terrible certainty that something awful is about to happen. So she resented Link, she resents a lot of the stuff around her, she's forced on this track that she doesn't think she can even do, and her father... This is her room, not her study, okay. Her father expresses disdain at her progress, and she's failing to live up to the expectations set upon her, her destiny. Meanwhile, she turns a blind eye to the struggles of people around her because she assumes everyone else just has life figured out and she's the one that sucks, or something, and that she's the only one that's failing. But really, Link is just struggling in silence. So this is where I found there's a silent princess growing in her room. And this is her study. So I never actually encountered her room last time. My only goal was to trigger the memory, which triggers right here. You remember when her father was scolding her about studying the ancient machines, she was right here on this bridge looking down at the troops. And so we were right here. So is this a different diary? Research journal. Today I met with Impa of the Sheikah tribe and began my research into the ancient technology in earnest. Impa introduced me to Pura and Robbie, other respected members of her tribe. Tomorrow I embark on an excavation with them. We hope to find ancient tech with which to operate the guidance stones. Today we uncovered some ancient technology we believe may have power to control the guidance stone. It is a rectangular object, small enough to be held in my two hands. Sheikah text is featured prominently on it. It is made of an unknown material, but we believe it is the same as the shrines scattered across each region. Impa proposed that I hold on to it for now. I hope that it leads to some new developments in our research. The stone relic we discovered has been named. We are calling it a Sheikah Slate. We have not found any mention of a name for this object in the records we have unearthed so far. Nevertheless, Pura insisted we call it the Sheikah Slate, as the relic is a slate made by the Sheikah tribe. Feels a bit on the nose to me, but it was not a fight I thought I could win. We did it. We are finally able to restore some functionality to the Sheikah Slate. We have discovered that this stone slate is capable of producing images. Perfect likenesses of the things you pointed at. Unlike normal pictures drawn by hand, this requires no artist to capture anything in perfect detail. I deeply admire the accomplishments of the Sheikah technology. Still, I know there is more to learn. There must be. We believe the Sheikah Slate may have a function that will allow it to control the guidance stone. We must continue our research, and quickly. We have started training the champions who will pilot the divine beasts. It may sound rude that I found this unexpected, but Mipha mastered the controls with surprising ease. Daruk struggled at first, but eventually got the hang of it. Urbosa and Revali both managed just fine as well. I can finally see the light of hope in our fight against the rising calamity. Robbie has restored mobility to many of the guardians we've excavated. But we still have yet to find all the guardians. Records mention a greater number of them, and even other types. There are said to be stored in 5 giant columns that rest beneath Hyrule Castle. The thing is, no matter how much I search beneath the castle, I can't seem to locate these columns. They must be buried deep. Were they perhaps designed to sense the appearance of Calamity Ganon, and to only activate upon his return? Countless ancient structures are being discovered across Hyrule, but all attempts to enter them have failed. Records indicate that these are facilities designed to train the hero who is fated to combat the calamity, but the crucial activation mechanism remains a mystery. Is the Sheikah Slate the key to activating them? That is Pura's theory, and I concur. And yet, my experiments so far have been fruitless. Still, We must exhaustively investigate all means of opposing the Calamity. We must not give up no matter what. I spoke with Pura about the Shrine of Resurrection we discovered earlier. As we speculated, this particular shrine is in fact a medical facility with the power to heal. It also has a long-term stasis function that can be activated and maintained until healing is complete. In the war against the Calamity 10,000 years ago, were the injuries so great as to necessitate such a facility? If so, I will remain uneasy until we have made all the adjustments necessary to restore it to full working order. I can only pray that even if Calamity Ganon returns, our battle will not require the Shrine of Resurrection's power. So we have two parallel things. One is her private diary about her personal struggles, and this is the ongoing lore discoveries about how the world around us works, and even the discovering the Sheikah Slate that I use constantly to do things, and even the Resurrection Shrine that brought me back to life. So really important details here. So we're in a rather story-important location, and I think my schedule's free enough that I can afford making this like a super episode, which I guess you guys already know that if you look at the duration. I think I'm going to make this entire Hyrule Castle place the finale. And I know some people sort of like stopped watching, not a lot, obviously, because this is a really, really, really popular series by my standards, but there's definitely some people that stopped watching because it wasn't story-heavy enough and might come back for the finale, and it's also been a long time since we've engaged with elements of the story anyway, so I think for all of us to be in a location this story important, and being in the finale, and being on our way towards closure and stuff, while also reading diaries of Zelda that recontextualize pieces of information, I think it's time to go through the memories again. And so I think I'm going to go through all of them in order as like a marathon thing right now. And if you don't want to do that, then skip ahead to when I'm not standing here watching videos, but I think we're going to do this. Let's revisit the story from beginning to end that was scattered across 150 episodes, and, you know, recontextualize the stuff now that we're coming to our ending. Viewer beware, or embrace. We got Subdued Ceremony.
Hero of Hyrule, chosen by the sword that seals the darkness. You have shown unflinching bravery and skill in the face of darkness and adversity, and have proven yourself worthy of the blessings of the goddess Hylia. Whether skyward bound, adrift in time, or steeped in the glowing embers of twilight, the sacred blade is forever bound to the soul of the hero. We pray for your protection, and we hope that the two of you will grow stronger together as one. Forged in the long distant past.
Gee, this is uplifting. She's making it sound like we already lost.
Wasn't this your idea? You're the one who wanted to designate the appointed night with all the ceremonial pomp, grandeur, and nonsense we could muster. And if you ask me, the whole thing does seem to be overkill. I think I'm on the same page as the princess regarding this boy.
Oh, give it a rest. That boy is a living reminder of her own failures. Well, at least that's how the princess sees him.
It recontextualizes it really well, because like now we like it actually is an interesting characterization of Zelda in particular, because like she is supposed to have a destiny and she's the princess, and this is a kingdom that is at the risk of falling, and everyone's depending on her to basically save everyone because she's supposed to be able to do what she can do, and she's failing. And meanwhile, Link seems to be able to do everything he's supposed to do, and she resents him, and now she has to appoint him as the knight because that's something that was decided outside of her will. And now she's like has to go through this ceremony she doesn't want to do to appoint a knight she doesn't want to deal with. while dealing with her own issues in the background that blind her to the problems other people have. But you can tell in her voice, like, when you're not prepared yet, that voice in particular, like, I don't think she's a great voice actress for this role. The Zelda actor, there's definitely a number of scenes where I'm like, I don't know about that with the vocal performance, but in that one it generally worked, because yeah, she sounds disinterested and irritated and obligated, which is exactly what that scene entails. But unfortunately, she kind of sounds like that in scenes where she probably shouldn't also.
Impressive, I know. Very few can achieve a mastery of the sky. Yet I have made an art of creating an updraft that allows me to soar. It's considered to be quite the masterpiece of aerial techniques, even among the Rito. With proper utilization of my superior skills, I see no reason why we couldn't easily dispense with Ganon. Now then, my ability to explore the firmament is certainly of note. But let's not, pardon me for being so blunt, let's not forget the fact that I am the most skilled archer of all the Rito. Yet despite these truths, it seems that I've been tapped to merely assist you. All because you happen to have that little darkness-sealing sword on your back. I mean, it's just asinine. Unless you think you can prove me wrong? Maybe we should just settle this one-on-one. But where? Oh, I know. How about up there? Oh, you must pardon me. I forgot you have no way of making it up to that divine beast on your own. Good luck sealing the darkness!
From here, we'll make our way to Goron City. Then, we'll need some adjustments on that divine beast so Daru can manage it as easily as possible. He's figured out how to get it to move. However, it's apparent that we still have much more to learn. But to think, that divine beast was actually built by people. That means we should be able to understand how it works and how to use it to our advantage. These divine beasts... so much we don't know. But if we want to turn back Calamity Ganon, they're our best hope. Tell me the truth. How proficient are you right now wielding that sword on your back? Legend says that an ancient voice resonates inside it. Can you hear it yet, hero?
So Revali's a prick, basically. And that's just really just straightforward enough. His cockiness was probably on some level his undoing. It's interesting seeing Zelda though, because like in other scenes she seems to almost be antagonistic and defeated and everything, but you get a scene. You can tell from this scene alone, like, she's actually, like, super driven and trying to get everything done, and she's trying to do everything she can. She's fully committed, and the problem is that she's fully committed now, but then all of her commitments don't lead to her actually making progress in many cases, and so all the effort she's willing to put in doesn't undo the fact that she's still failing.
I think I'm finally getting the hang of controlling this divine beast. I tell you what, sure is a blast piloting a toy like this around. Let those other champions know. They better eat their gravel if they want to keep up with Hyrule. Speaking of which, can you believe this view? Just look at all those delectable rocks sprinkled on those mountains. Mighty tasty. I may not know a whole lot about this Calamity Ganon thing, but mark my words, I'll protect this land of ours to the death. Right, little guy? Hey, by the way, congrats on becoming the princess's appointed knight. That's a really big deal, protecting the king's daughter. No pressure. Seriously, though, the princess is a strong personality. So strong, she can't quite see the range for the peaks. Remember that, and you'll be fine. Huh? What the? So what was I saying? That was a little strange. As far as I know, Death Mountain has been quiet for decades. But if the mountain is shivering enough to send down a bunch of boulders that size, then never mind. Forget I said anything.
I forgot how weird that line was, because he's all like, "Alright, so what was I saying?" Which is like something you say if your dialogue's about to just go on as if the thing didn't happen, like being all cool guy casual about it. But then he immediately goes back to not only exclusively talking about what just happened. It's like, it's almost like they should have cut out the line of dialogue saying, "Oh, what was I saying?" Because he, instead of going back to the original topic, actually completely stays on the topic of the rock that came after him. It was strange. The scene probably flows better with if you cut that part out too.
Nothing. Just as I thought. It appears that this structure was designed to be exclusively accessed by the sword's chosen one. But designs can always be worked around. At least I hope. How do I get inside? I need to activate it somehow. I thought I made it clear that I'm not in need of an escort. It seems I'm the only one with a mind of my own. I, the person in question, am fine, regardless of the king's orders. Return to the castle and tell that to my father, please. And stop following me!
Now we're getting into what the diaries are talking about, where she actively tries to get him to go away, and even though all he's doing is just silently dedicating himself to helping.
Ah, well, you certainly got here fast. I should have expected as much, from the princess's own appointed knight. She was out on a survey all day today. Still as the sands now. So, spill it, boy. Have the two of you been getting along all right? It's okay, I know. Your silence speaks volumes. She gets frustrated every time she looks up and sees you carrying that sword on your back. It makes her feel like a failure when it comes to her own destiny. Don't worry, it's not like you carry blame in any of this. It's unfortunate. She's put in more than enough time. Ever since she was a young girl, she's gone through rigorous daily routines to show her dedication. She once passed out in the freezing waters trying to access this sealing power. And she has nothing to show for it. That's the motivation driving her research. I'd be doing the same thing. She really is quite special. You be sure to protect her with your life. It's quite the honor. The night brings a chill. It's probably time we take her in. Or...
Urbosa! What was that? Did you feel that? Wait, what? How did you... What are you doing here? What's so funny?
Zelda was apparently working really hard because she's a deep sleeper. She's sleeping sitting up, propped up against a boob that keeps moving around while somebody talks directly into her ear without waking up. You kept trying to push him away and abandon him and run off without him, but then he still fights for you and tracks you down and saves you when he needs to, which is probably why he got the Master Sword.
That cut doesn't look too bad, actually. You're fine for now. But you know, there's a fine line between courage and recklessness. As brave as you are, that does not make you immortal. It seems that not only is the frequency of these types of attacks on the rise, but the scale of beasts we are facing is intensifying as well. I fear that this is an omen which portends the return of Calamity Ganon. And if that's the case, I'm ready to expect the worst. We'll need to make preparations as soon as possible.
And the memory is even curbed by the same sound effects we get when the blood moon rises and respawns enemies and creates power and everything. Also, how many Lionels were in that group? Holy crap, Link.
There's one. Oh, and another. The flowers we have in Hyrule aren't just beautiful. They're also quite useful as ingredients for a variety of things. This one here is called the Silent Princess. It's a rare, endangered species. Despite our efforts, we can't get them to grow domestically yet. The princess can only thrive out here, in the wild. All that we can hope is that the species will be strong enough to prosper on its own. Is that what I think it is? Look at this. I don't believe it, but I actually caught one. This delicacy is known to have very, very potent effects under the proper circumstances. Ta-da! Research from the castle shows ingesting one of these can actually augment certain abilities. We wouldn't be in a controlled environment out here, but with your level of physical fitness, you'd be a perfect candidate for the study. Go on. Taste it.
Go on, eat that entirely living creature that I'm holding right in front of you. So that adds a bit to the fact that there's a silent princess now growing in her study right here. You can almost take it as a message because she herself is a princess and like this, and maybe it is kind of growing domestically now, or it's a symbol of how the wilds have taken back Hyrule in the last 100 years, and now things that only grow in the wild are growing inside the castle itself at this point.
I was thinking, this reminds me of the time we first met. You were just a reckless child, always getting yourself hurt at every turn. Every time, I would heal you, just as I'm doing right now. I thought it was funny how, being a Hylian, you looked grown up so much faster than I did. I was always willing to heal your wounds, even back then. So if this Calamity Ganon does in fact return, what can we really do? We just don't seem to know much about what we'll be up against. But know this, that no matter how difficult this battle might get, if anyone ever tries to do you harm, then I will heal you. No matter when or how bad the wound, I hope you know that I will always protect you. Once this whole thing is over, maybe things can go back to how they used to be when we were young. You know, perhaps we could spend some time together.
So people are always tempted to pair off Link and Zelda because it's, well, they're the two most prominent characters of the entire franchise. So like they kind of speak for that in an interesting way here because he's Zelda's protector, but Mipha seems to be the one specific character that's directly tied to Link on any sort of like personal level. Although it's hard, it always is like weirdly hard to judge because he never says anything and it feels so strange.
I doubt this will let up anytime soon. Your path seems to mirror your father's. You've dedicated yourself to becoming a knight as well. Your commitment to the training necessary to fulfill your goal is really quite admirable. I see now why you would be the chosen one. What if one day you realized that you just weren't meant to be a fighter? Yet the only thing people ever said was that you were born into a family of the royal guard, and so no matter what you thought, you had to become a knight. If that was the only thing you were ever told, I wonder then, would you have chosen a different path?
So these stories definitely work better when they're in order. It's neat being able to find them scattered around, especially since they're each memory is generally of the location that you're at when you get the memory. So you see it in a modern day, and then you go to the past and see that same location as a memory and stuff like that, and that's all cool. But it leads to the characters sometimes seeming a little schizophrenic because their behavior seems so inconsistent. But that's because you're watching different pieces of an arc and a character development, but you're watching them out of order when you find them the first time. So it actually makes a lot of sense to go back and watch them like this, now that we have all of them.
Incredible. We're at a point now where we can actually control them. At the current rate, we'll soon know all we need to know about the Guardians and the Divine Beasts. And should Ganon ever show itself again, we'll be well positioned to defend ourselves.
What are you doing out here, Zelda?
I was assessing the results of the experiment with the Guardians. These pieces of ancient technology could be quite useful against them.
I know that. They are essential to Hyrule's future, and our research demands that we keep a close eye on them. However, as the princess, you currently have a crucial unfulfilled responsibility to your kingdom. Let me ask you once more, when will you stop treating this as some sort of childish game?
I'm doing everything I can. I'll have you know that I just recently returned from the Spring of Courage, where I offered every ounce of my prayers to the goddess.
And now you are here wasting your time. You need to be dedicating every moment you have to your training. You must be single-minded in unlocking the power that will seal Calamity Ganon away.
I already am. Don't you see? There's nothing more I can do. My hope is that you'll allow me to contribute here in whatever way I can.
No more excuses, Zelda. Stop running away from your duty. As the king, I forbid you to have anything to do with these machines from this moment on, and command you to focus on your training. Do you know how the gossip mongers refer to you? They are out there at this moment, whispering amongst themselves that you are the heir to a throne of nothing. Nothing but failure. It is woven into your destiny that you prove them wrong. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
The king's just trying to do what he thinks needs to be done to save the kingdom and his daughter, but he comes off as just cruel in the way that he spreads the rumors of the people to her specifically to tell her that she's failing after already telling her in many other ways that she's already failing. And what if she's just not cut out for her supposed destiny? What if she actually just can't use the shrines, the springs? What if she can't gain the Triforce powers? But what if she and her dedication to the machines and the guardian beast could have stopped them from being corrupted? What if being allowed to fully commit to figuring out the guardian beasts may have led to defeating Ganon, perhaps, as opposed to only going so far and then being compromised and being refocused towards things that she seems to fail at? It seems like they may be equally at fault for their failures.
I come seeking help regarding this power that has been handed down over time. Prayer will awaken my power to seal Ganon away. Or so I've been told all my life. And yet, Grandmother heard them. The voices from the spirit realm. And Mother said her own power would develop within me. But I don't hear or feel anything. Father has told me time and time again. He always says, quit wasting your time playing at being a scholar. Curse you. I've spent every day of my life dedicated to praying. I've pleaded to the spirits tied to the ancient gods. And still the holy powers have proven deaf to my devotion. Please, just tell me. What is it? What's wrong with me? Be sure to take the time to soothe your mount. That's the only way it will know how you truly feel. Your advice was quite helpful, thank you. This little one and I are getting along quite well now. At first, I wasn't sure if I should outfit him with all of the royal gear. I thought maybe he should have to earn it first. But it works. He wears it like a true natural. I'm trying to be a bit more empathetic. Benefit of the doubt, you know? See that mountain? That's Mount Lanayru. It takes its name from the goddess of wisdom. Lanayru's decree is very specific. It says no one is allowed under the age of 17. For only the wise are permitted a place upon the mountain. I've prayed at the Spring of Courage and at the Spring of Power, yet neither awoke anything inside me. But maybe up there. Perhaps the Spring of Wisdom, the final of the three, will be the one. To be honest, I have no real reason to think that will be the case. But there's always the chance that the next moment will change everything. Tomorrow is my 17th birthday. So then I shall go and make my way up the mountain.
It's a minor note, but because these are all tied to locations, and because this game is about exploring a map and we know where these locations are generally on the map, they're taking a really strange path between these shrines. If this is on the conjoined amount of time that you would expect it to be.
Well, don't keep us in suspense. How'd everything go up there on the mountain?
So you didn't feel anything? No power at all?
I'm sorry, no.
Then let's move on. You've done all you could. Feeling sorry for yourself won't be of any help. After all, it's not like your last shot was up there on Mount Lanayru. Anything could finally spark the power to seal Ganon away. We just have to keep looking for that thing.
That's kind of you. Thank you.
If I may, I thought you... well, I'm not sure how to put this into words. I'm actually quite embarrassed to say it. But I was thinking about what I do when I'm healing. You know, what usually goes through my mind. It helps when I think about...
This is it, then.
Are you sure?
Positive.
It's awake. Ganon.
Let's stop wasting time. We're gonna need everything we got to take that thing down. Now, champions, to your divine beasts! Show that swirling swine who's boss! Link will need to meet Ganon head-on when we attack. This needs to be a unified assault. Little guy, you get to Hyrule Castle. You can count on us for support, but it's up to you to pound Ganon into oblivion.
Come, we should go. We need to get you someplace safe.
No. I'm not a child anymore. I may not be much use on the battlefield, but there must be something I can do to help.
Mifo said it was embarrassing what she thinks about when she heals, so she's probably about to confess that she thinks about Link whenever she's healing somebody. And that would have, yeah, the mood changed a bit there, right when that was about to come out.
How did it come to this? The divine beasts, the guardians, they've all turned against us. It was Calamity Ganon. It turned them all against us. And everyone, Mipha, Urbosa, Rivali and Daruk, they're all trapped inside those things. It's all my fault. Our only hope for defeating Ganon is lost, all because I couldn't harness this cursed power. Everything I've done up until now, it was all for nothing. So I really am just a failure. All my friends, the entire kingdom, my father most of all. I tried and I failed them all. I left them all to die. Save yourself! Go! I'll be fine! Don't worry about me! Run! Was that the power? Huh? No! Link, get up! You're going to be just fine. Sword. So he can still be saved?
Princess!
Huh?
Princess, are you all right?
Take Link to the Shrine of Resurrection. If you don't get him there immediately, we are going to lose him forever. Is that clear? So make haste and go. His life is now in your hands.
Makes you wonder if her power finally comes out when she jumps in front of somebody to protect them, if maybe it was the power of the Triforce of Courage?
Your master will come for you. Until then, you shall rest safely here. Although the slumber of restoration will most certainly deprive him of his memories, please trust me when I say that I know he will arrive before you yet again.
If I may be so bold, what is it that you are planning to do next, Princess?
The Master Sword. I heard it speak to me. It seems that my role is unfinished. There is still something I must do.
I sense there is great strength in your dedication.
Great Deku Tree, I ask of you, when he returns, can you please relay this message? Tell him
Now then. Words intended for him would sound much better in the tones of your voice, don't you think?
Yes.
And there we have it, the entire thing in chronological order. It actually does play out like a movie with straight up like elements of pacing and like character development and an actual arc from front to back that's kind of lost when you see it in a random order. So it is good to revisit, it looks like. And now we have a reminder of what we're fighting for and where we are and what it used to be and so on. And she's still in there. So she's the one that was supposed to be... She's supposed to be the chosen one. She's supposed to unlock a power that just solves everyone's problems. And instead of that working out, instead the answer seems to have been her pure dedication. Because her pure dedication has led to a situation where she is literally holding back Ganon for 100 years. For 100 years she's been holding back the Blight. Just her. Just through sheer dedication. Which is her main trait. Just persistence. And it's working for her. And now I need to figure out how the hell to get up there. Let's see, so that's not working out. That all got us to here. I need to figure out how to get to the top of the building. Probably by going back the way I was. Probably want to jump down then. Jump down and go to a road, hopefully. Here we go. The journey begins anew. This game seriously has one of the better soundtracks I've heard. And that's compared to Zelda, like already being a series that even without me playing it, just from exposure to like Smash Brothers and stuff like that, was constantly reminding me that like the main theme was some of the catchiest crap out there. And I've always liked the Kokori Woods song a lot. That thing alive? So now it seems to come down to trying to find ways around the Blight. Could use Rivali's Gale, admittedly. Let's save it, though, because I only use it twice before it runs out again. Although I did use it three times while climbing that one slope and suddenly had another one for some reason. That seemed strange to me. Hey, it's the Hyrule symbol. Ah! Stop. Those guys are everywhere. Really? Here? Here. Why are you here? Don't you have things to do? Oh, it's going in a circle. That's confusing. I don't like you. I don't like you. There we go. Like, I'm just gonna start shooting arrows. Yeah, haha. Just heard the sound in the background. I'm like, really? Here? Might need one of you for a second. Here we go. This place looks important. It also might be the place I... Did I come in this way? Oh, the turrets didn't even notice me. They're bad turrets. It's not open. Oh. 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 Oh, hello. How do you do? No, thank you. Knock back. Oh. The prize skulls are bouncing around now. Where's the eye? There we are. Two down. How many more of those are there? Oh, hi. Could you not do that? Ow. Rude, frankly. Oop. Oh, no. Alright, I can do that too. Yeah. Got him. Is there another eye around here or what? Did he not drop weapons? Why would a Lionel not drop weapons? Come now. Well, that was a cool fight. They lock you in a room and have you fight a Lionel. I wonder oh, there's a chest. That's what the real reward is. Ooh, 3 more ancient arrows. I guess Ganon's gonna have a meeting with some of those. That I've been stocking up, apparently. I have how many? Only 8. Never mind. I thought I had a lot of those. I don't. They're exceedingly rare, as it turns out. Especially since I never purchased them. I just find them at random, but so that was like half of them so far was in there. Freaking a scripted Lionel trap room. Just mean. I'm abundantly aware that I'm sure I could explore this game, this area for like ages. It's actually almost like hard to keep track of how many directions I could check out that have different things. I do like the idea that everyone who explores this place probably finds a completely different way in. Which is suggested by the fact that like when we first got to one of the first stables, like they talked about ways to get into Ganon's castle. And how like different people you talk to have different ideas of how you can sneak your way in and stuff like that. Like that stuff's really cool. And it leads to like the thing where like even the players themselves will be finding different ways in. Encourages both replay and rewatches of different people. Don't shoot me. Please don't shoot me. If I stay under the ridge, they at least see me less. That's my best chance. Alright, Urbosa's Fury is recharging, so I won't have that for the next few fights that come up, probably. No. Oh, my stamina. Get ready to run. Now. There you go. Uh-oh. Okay, you're a little easy. You're a little hard to dodge. Woohoo! That was lucky. Going, 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 going. Well, this looks like somewhere where a fight's gonna happen. The Sanctum.
Link. 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 I'm sorry, but my power isn't strong enough. I can't hold.
Has finally come. Brace yourself, Ganon, for the sting of my revenge!
This will be our final opportunity. We will not fail.
Let's go, little guy. Now, open up wide, Ganon!
100 years in the making. Hold on, Princess. Our moment has arrived.
That was awesome how she whips out the weapon and it glows and everything. Okay, yeah. Royal Guard's bow because it looks awesome. Need to get a shield on. Probably you. 44 and bonus durability. It's probably as good as we're gonna get for now. Let's get a bonus health going. And some bonus defense for a while. Those will add up nicely. And so begins the fight. Oh boy. How do you work, huh? Nope. Ow. How you feeling now, huh? Okay. Not quite as effective as I might think. Oop. What you do? Oh, he's on the wall. I'm not exactly psyched about that idea. Okay, so bomb, there's not a huge difference between bomb arrows and ancient arrows here. I don't think they're actually very helpful against him. Oh. Hi. Neat. Okay, no. Nope. 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 There we go. Jump. Oh, no. I thought it was a shockwave. Oop. Dodged it.
Urbosa's fury is ready.
Hey, you. Ow. Generally displeased with you. How's that for a shock, or for a response? Uh-oh. I don't think he's in a good mood. I don't think he's in a good mood. Oh, that didn't stop him. Oh, he doesn't take damage now. That's a problem. Okay. Do I have to do this? Nope. No. How do I do it again? Oh. Do I need to... that, maybe? That's only one way I know. Ow. There we go. Oh. Doing a shockwave. Hey, buddy. What are you up to? Having a good day? I've got a really, really high level Lionel shield on. Is that exciting? Oh. Ow. Didn't really go as planned, honestly. Ow. Ow. Dodging is hard. I was trying to do the quick time dodge. Just gonna avoid that one for now. Are you gonna shoot me again? Yeah, you are. Alright, let's try this. Gotcha. I bet that hurts. Oh. Dang it. Oh, I broke my shield. I was in bow mode still. I always forget you have to press a button first to switch back. Ow. Poor shields. I do bad things to them. Could you not? Woo! Ow. There we go. I blew myself up with that one. That was not a good idea. Does any power help me here better? Not really. Oh yeah. Jeez. Weird spider monster. Are we gonna do ice again? Nope. Oh. Hi.
Ganon. Ganon was born out of a dark past. He is a pure embodiment of the ancient evil that is reborn time and time again. He has given up on reincarnation and assumed his pure, enraged form. If set free upon our world, the destruction will be unlike anything ever seen before. I entrust you with the bow of light, a powerful weapon in the face of evil. Link, you may not yet be at a point where you have fully recovered your power, or all of your memories. But courage need not be remembered, for it is never forgotten.
Time to go. Which horse did they give me? This isn't my This isn't red hair. I wanted to use red hair. Princess Zelda gave you this bow and arrow for the battle with Dark Beast Ganon. When wielded against the hero, it fires... wielded by the hero, it fires arrows of pure light strong enough to oppose the Calamity. It's the bow of light, 100 damage. Which one am I using right now? Nope. That's not the one. Light arrows. Alright, let's give this a shot then. I didn't...
Covering Ganon's body is called malice. None of your attacks will get through as he now is. I will hold the malice back as much as I can, but my power is waning. Attack any glowing points that you see.
Glowing points?
You will be victorious.
Seriously though, where's red hair? I didn't get to pick red hair as my horse. It's gargantuan. I want to use my mega horse. There we go.
Ganon's power is weakening.
What are you gonna do, Ganon? You got any plans? He is huge. So this is the main form, right? This is what he actually looks like. My logic is that when she makes him weak again, it'll be on this side. There we go. I probably have to hit him head on now. It's like, it feels like I'm fighting the fire boss from the beginning of Devil May Cry 4. Such a specific visual. What are you doing? Another laser? Is he just like generally attacking like the world or something, or what? Under him. Uh-oh. That's gonna be a little hard to get to. Oh, I'm sorry, horse. Sorry, it's just the fate of the world and stuff. No big deal. Is there another one? Or was that the only one?
Look up there.
Up where? Sky? Oh, there it is. Yeah, when you... All this because Ganon couldn't just sit down and talk. The crazy eyeball in the middle of his body? Oh, it's gone. Come back out, please. That's gross. Who knew this game was going to be about fighting Sauron? You are okay. Do I have to like wait for his attack to come? In order to be aiming there, I guess? How do I use his attacks to my advantage? Come on, open up. That's bad. That's bad for you. Oh. Well, goodbye, horsey. How am I not hitting it still? Garuk's protection, yo. I don't have it. Crap. Never mind. You know what? I'm going up now. There we go.
I've been keeping watch over you all this time. I've witnessed your struggles to return to us, as well as your trials in battle. I always thought, no, I always believed that you would find a way to defeat Ganon. I never lost faith in you over these many years. Thank you, Link. The hero of Hyrule. May I ask, do you really remember me?
Hey, I beat my first Zelda game. I think it's pretty unambiguous that I picked the longest one ever to play first to completion. But yeah, beat my first Zelda game ever. I don't think any of them are anywhere even vaguely close to this long, right? Like, let's do a quick see how long to beat. Let's type Wind Waker. Wind Waker is 25 hours long. Okay. Twilight Princess. Really, 37 hours long. That is surprisingly long. still like half as long as my playthrough of this at best, but I'm surprised by how long Twilight Princess apparently is. Although the HD version is apparently only 30 hours long, according to user accounts. That makes sense, because the Wind Waker HD version was supposed to be shorter too, because they made sailing faster and stuff like that. But yeah, this game is a monster, which is what happens when you make an open world game. So this is definitely a contender for favorite game of the year, up there with like Prey, and I think something else comes to mind that I'm not thinking of right now. But yeah, fantastic game, great game. It's every bit the surprise hit for me that Mass Effect was a surprise failure for me, and stuff like that. Like, because I almost didn't play this game, because I was like, I don't care about Zelda, which isn't really, that's not even a point against it, as in like, that's not a judgment. I'm literally like, I just don't, I had no preconditions to care about Zelda. I didn't grow up playing Zelda games, which is probably good for me as a Let's Player, because that means I get to eventually, maybe, play all of them over the years. Won't exactly take a long time. I don't exactly have to worry about them piling up like other franchises, because these games seem to come out like once per console generation, so, at least the main series ones, so I don't exactly have to worry about, like, if I play one a year even, then I'll still be making like a 3-to-1 or 4-to-1 ratio of progress compared to how fast they come out. But yeah, fantastic game. It made exploring fun in a way that's not normal for video games. Because what happened is open world became this... Like, Zelda, it was interesting playing Zelda and Morrowind in parallel in particular, I think, because of the fact that, like, they represent an element of what open world should be on some level, where learning the environment and caring about what's in different directions, and, like, even all the way down to, like, your ways of navigating terrain being a thing that you need to think about, and how you're going to get from point A to point B and stuff like that, as opposed to what essentially happened when open worlds games got popular and became a thing to do. It used to be that open world games were made because somebody had an idea about how they wanted their game to work, and like that, it was driven into open world because that's what fit their idea. But nowadays, open world is just a hype thing. Like, open world is just like a selling point, so giant corporations latch onto the idea of making open world games so that they can sell more copies. And like, well, what do people like in open worlds? I don't know, tasks? Okay, fill the map with 1 billion waypoints telling them to do a billion menial tasks. And I fell for that for a brief bit. I was one of those people that played Assassin's Creed 1 and Assassin's Creed 2 and got every single collectible, which I will remind you, Assassin's Creed 1 had 460 of them. Like, I went through and found all those things. But even Assassin's Creed represents an important distinction, of course, across its franchise, because in Assassin's Creed 1, collectibles were not on the map. You had to find them. You searched, and you explored. And that was interesting because Assassin's Creed had a relatively unique way of navigating environments when it was new, before it became like a 10-game franchise that other franchises also copy onto, and it became like the most cookie-cutter form of making video games ever, that then led to stuff like even bled into games like Shadow of Mordor and Horizon Zero Dawn, borrowing heavily from that kind of world design. Assassin's Creed 1, you had to genuinely explore to find all the things you needed to find if you wanted to do that, and that's part of why it was fun, is because you were voyaging out and looking at different corners and exploring the level design and enjoying a new style of moving around an environment that was designed specifically for that game. And that's part of what's special about this game, Breath of the Wild, is that it is new. The way that you just climb any surface, basically, or the navigation tools you get, and a lot of other stuff, like, it's not literally like earth-shattering revelations or anything like that, but it's a specific combination of mechanics that aren't really ever used anywhere else, and definitely are not used in the previous games. Like, there's no hook shot in this game. I know about you infamous hook shot, where you stop in a room and you're like, well, the only way to proceed is to use the hook shot, so I must aim this around and find the one hook shot surface I can use to proceed forward. That's the type of platforming I'm not a fan of. That's the Uncharted platforming, the Horizon Zero Dawn platforming, which is that thing where there's ledges that you can climb on to proceed, but only a specific configuration of ledges in a specific order. It's not freedom. It's on rails. It's a QuickTime event disguised as navigation, because all you're doing is just, what direction do I have to press next to continue? Like, even the original Assassin's Creeds were at least better at that. Like, you could straight up pick whatever surfaces to try to climb up, as long as there was like sufficient clutter and irregularities for your character to latch onto. But over time, the platforming games got more and more Uncharted-y and got more and more like less interactive and more do the next thing you're supposed to do. But this thing has been an absolute trip. It's beautiful, it's great to navigate, you feel like you accomplish stuff because the map's literally empty. It's a blue blob of nothing and blackness, and then you find every single tower one by one to add the shards of the map back in, and then you populate it with these waypoints for all these shrines that weren't there originally. You had to go find the shrines, and they did that, and instead of having you look at the map to find the shrines, which sucks, they had you look around to find the shrines. You go look in a direction, and you basically pull out your telescope, your binoculars in the form of the Sheikah Slate, and you look at the direction of the shrine and basically triangulate its location by clicking on it in first person. That adds a waypoint to your mini-map that helps you keep orientation of what direction it's in, but you're basically just running towards the bright light on the horizon. You explored by looking around your environment instead of looking at your map at all times, necessarily. And if you were looking at your map, you were looking at your map for the purpose of following waypoints you set yourself as opposed to the game setting for you. The only waypoints that are set by the game itself, really, are the shrines, which are added after you find them, as navigational things and as a checklist of all the things you've accomplished so far, as opposed to things yet to do. The map doesn't represent a task list, it represents an accomplishment list, and a thing that you can doodle on and make your own notes on. It's great, it's a great game. The only thing is it's just the challenge of the gameplay is not very balanced, admittedly. Very easy.
We'll make our way to Zora's domain. Divine Beast Varuta. Looks like it's stopped working. Let's investigate the situation. Miva's father. I believe he would like to hear more about her. The least we can do is visit him and offer him some closure. Although Ganon is gone for now, there is still so much more for us to do, and so many painful memories that we must bear. I believe in my heart that if all of us work together, we can restore Hyrule to its former glory. Perhaps even beyond, but it all must start with us. Let's be off. I can no longer hear the voice inside the sword. I suppose it would make sense if my power had dwindled over the past 100 years. I'm surprised to admit it, but I can accept that.
That was a gargantuan collection of silent princesses all across that entire slope. Which is ironic, because she's the princess is the character that talks more than anyone else in the entire game, so she's like the opposite of silent. Go figure. Alright, this was Legend of Zelda: The Breath of the Wild. I could double check, but I think it's my longest playthrough I've ever done of any game that didn't feature DLC. We technically spent like 2 episodes so far doing some DLC stuff technically, but I think my other 2 super long playthroughs, Dragon Age Inquisition and Witcher 3, had 2 and 3 DLCs respectively. Witcher 3, I think, may have passed 200 episodes, I think, but that's because like the first expansion was like 20 episodes of content. The second expansion was a gargantuan thing that was bigger than most games, where this Blood and Wine is bigger than most video games. That's how big that DLC was, and I think I spent like 50 episodes with it. Whew. So this has been... I guess we might as well finish the thought I had before we got the post-credits stinger. Breath of the Wild... I talked about all the great exploration stuff, why I love it. The main criticism I have of the game would be that... And it's not necessarily even a criticism, it's just like an acknowledgement, I suppose, is that the game does not have super challenging gameplay, or even particularly challenging gameplay. And yes, you can make the Dark Souls argument when people talk about like doing summons or not doing summons and stuff like that. Like, you can kind of make your own difficulty to an extent, which is true. People have managed to beat this game in less than an hour before, so... Those people obviously managed to go in without fighting any of the Guardian Beasts, and then go in and go fight Ganon directly, and so on, and that's like a whole big deal. But, those people... Well, I mean, they're speedrunners, first of all. But yeah, like, that means that you can go in... I believe that means you have to fight all 4 Guardian Beast bosses back-to-back before even fighting Ganon, because I think if you don't beat them in their... individual Guardian Beasts, then you'd have to fight them individually, and then even then I think you'd then have to fight a full power Ganon and stuff like that, and then you're underpowered, so like there is a element of making your own difficulty. But there's definitely a part of like, especially because of the food crafting system, in fact, that might be the biggest culprit of the game, is that the food crafting system allows you to amass a gargantuan amount of items that can heal you instantly or create relatively massive boosts to your character, and then you can upgrade all of your gear at the Great Fairies, and like, you can definitely quickly get to where I was, where you have such a severe amount of upgrades across your character that like you're upgrading to beat a difficulty that doesn't really exist or match the difficulty that you're defeating is a thing. And so that's just worth acknowledging, but it's also worth noticing, oh look, there's a little shrine in that picture. I never noticed that before. You can see the little orange shrines here and there dotting the landscape. The easiest one to spot's in the really craggy mountain on the right, next to Link. Bye! It's worth noting that, especially if you watch that Lionel fight I did at the end, and the fight against Ganon himself, like, there's so many mechanics in this game, and so many tricks and fun things to do, like, I could do Rivali's Gale and Urbosa's Fury and Garruk's Protection, and Mipha's kind of boring, but hey, it's a resurrection if you die. That's not really a mechanic you can use, but it's there. But like, 3 of the powers you get can help you during fights, or how you navigate things, and give you toys to play with. While you already have the ability to freeze enemies, you have the ability to create ice things, or when they send ice at you, destroy them. You can throw bombs around, you can deflect things with your shield, you have the melee attack that can turn into a charge, which when you're using a 2-handed weapon can turn into a spinning attack, and like, there's so many mechanics that it's actually really fun to fight in this game, in many cases, because you have so many little tricks you can switch between. Like, in many cases, I could just wail on a dude for a while and block their attacks and keep hitting them if I wanted to, and do it bare bones, but there's so many fun toys to play with that combat never really gets fully boring, because you can always just screw around in different ways. Like, people will remember in my earlier parts of the playthrough when I was less powerful, and more prone to dying and hadn't amassed fairies yet, and so on and so forth, I would do a lot of like placing bombs and running away, and blow up bombs when they're chasing me, and try to throw bombs into enemy encampments. Like, there's a lot of fun things you can do. You can drop boulders on people. You can pick up a metal object with your magnesis power and then swing it around to hit people. Like, there's a lot of toys to play with, and that's really fun. It taps into the same kind of freedom that people enjoy when they play a game like a Deus Ex game, or a Thief, or a Dishonored, or even the new Prey game. Like, those kinds of things where part of the fun isn't necessarily specifically the story, but just like having a world to explore, and given a problem where the problem is basically, hey, go there and do that. Like how this game was like, hey, go defeat Ganon. Okay. You get that like right away after you get the first 4 shrines done, and that's your final objective of the entire game. How do you get there? How do you do that? How do you accomplish your goal? That's a variable result, isn't it? Look at all the different Let's Plays, or or talk to your friends who play the game, and then you play the game, and you'll see that everyone had massively different experiences playing the game. And that's because there's a lot of ways to accomplish the same things. And that's what makes those kinds of games interesting, and this game, surprisingly, falls into that categorization in a number of ways, all the way down to the part where those types of games often set up their setting to be set in a game in a setting that's kind of past its prime, or has fallen as a result of something, which often helps them facilitate the protagonist having as much freedom as they do, because everyone's kind of gone, or the structure is kind of gone. But there we go. Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, very good game. Will I play other Zelda games? I think it's almost certainly yes that I will at some point. Not right away. I gotta space out the Nintendo games a little bit, because frankly, I have so far made about $10 from playing this series. It's one of my longest series ever, and I've made about $10 so far because, well, technically, Nintendo has like a rewards thing. Not a rewards thing. That's a different program entirely. Technically, Nintendo has like a partner program thing. So that's why people quieted down about the freaking out about Nintendo messing with YouTube videos. But when you partner with them, the money you get is not even, it's hard to even call it a percentage. It's more like you randomly get a couple dollars sent to you via PayPal after a few months, and you're like, what? Okay. Thankfully, I'm able to afford this, though, because of my support on Patreon. I have a significant following for a channel of my size, which I'm very thankful for, because it literally changed my life and allowed me to quit my other job and focus full-time on this and stuff like that. And the fact that I have support on Patreon is the real reason why I'm allowed to go all in and buy an entire Nintendo Switch and Breath of the Wild, even though I know I won't make any money off of it. Like, I've probably made more money off the unboxing video than I did off of the 151 episode playthrough. So it's because of you guys that I'm able to stick with this kind of stuff and have the sunk cost of that and not have it be like a problem for me, because it's weird thinking about video game purchases as like a sunk cost that's like a business expense that you have to calculate for, because for normal people they're not, but when they are your source of income, suddenly they are. It's weird. It's really weird to think about. So as far as the DLC goes, I will be soon engaging in the Master Sword trials. I don't know if it'll necessarily be tomorrow or some future date. I have to figure out how I want to handle the video structure for that, because I need to figure out how long the Master Sword trial is exactly. It's supposed to be 40 rooms, but I don't know how long 40 rooms is time-wise. I might try to unleash it upon you as like a movie, as in like I play through the entirety of it in one episode and put it up as a giant video. Or maybe one video per attempt, I mean, because I probably won't do it the first time successfully. Or I might treat it like another 30-minute episode series where it cuts every 30 minutes and comes out as it goes. So I have not yet fully decided what I'm going to do. So tomorrow might be Master Sword Trials, or it might be a brand new game, and then out of nowhere a Master Sword video will just sort of come out or something. Maybe. Either way, it'll happen, because I very much want to play it. And we'll see how the timing works out. And aside from that, I'm sure I'll be back. I mean, I have the DLC Season Pass thing, so we'll be returning to this when the main expansion comes out. That's supposed to add, like, bonus story of some kind. I think it's supposed to engage in the story of the 4 Guardians or something, the 4 side characters we encounter that are on the 4 Guardian beasts. I think it's supposed to be a prequel or something, but I'm not really entirely sure. I try not to get too far into the details of stuff I haven't played yet. But when that comes out, we'll be making another return to Breath of the Wild, and the series can get even longer. Oh boy. Thanks for watching like always, guys. I'll see you next time.